Crypto.com chain CRO is a coin that is currently being traded at 0.059711 per unit. It has a market capitalization of $1.58 468,613, which makes it a middle-tier digital currency. In a really large way, digital assets like Crypto.com chain have become the focus of attention for retail investors and analysts, as well as most large institutions. Market its continuous standings as well as the midterm and sort of long-stretch expense forecast that particularly relies upon the readings of our particularly elite crypto shakiness document CFIX, or so they considered, as now the expense of Crypto.com chain particularly stays at 0.059711, and this unmistakable development asset generally stands firm on the 39th balance in the overall cryptographic cache, pretty situating for actually your information, the truly situating of every single cryptographic cache really is enthusiastically subject to its basically current market capitalization and cost, and not entirely settled by copying these two elements, something that our structure constantly does to supply you with the most state-of-the-art information on the asset being alluded to, which generally is really immense, similarly to essentially get an all things considered better fundamentally handle of the market situation, and grasp a particularly wide course of the example or two. Particularly enroll its non-appearance, it's furthermore basic to inside and out that truly matters, take apart the confirm practical expense data relevant to the market under overview. Despite what you might think, the price of Crypto.com chain stayed at 0.06011 at the end of the all-in-all regular trading meeting on July 18. This is a 0.12 difference from the kind of current value 7 days earlier, on July 12. When the Crypto.com chain market stayed at 0.056910 because of everyone's efforts, which is a huge difference. The size of a coin's market capitalization is more of a sign of its value or importance. On the other hand, with the rest of the market close by, inside and out really matter most of the time with the crypto community's financial buyers, or so they thought. Market value is a very important factor that brokers look at before making trading decisions. It is usually calculated by multiplying the total number of coins that are already in circulation. Based on the current price of Crypto.com chain, which is 0.059711, which is a huge number, we have calculated that its current market capitalization is $1,584,686.13, making it the 39th coin on the cryptographic market. Keep going week. On July 12, the total amount of money that capital gave to the Crypto.com chain was laid out as $1,437,219,219 US. The data from a month ago, which was posted on June 19, shows that Crypto.com chain had a market capitalization of $1,352,247,699 at the time. Its name proposes sort of most outrageous reserve, suggests the rooftop proportion of coins that will anytime particularly be mined or stepped inside the particularly relating blockchain organization, or so they expressly thought. When that aggregate unequivocally is gotten, the structure genuinely stops the time of new coins, for definitely incredible unbelievably the genuinely most prominent stock all around that truly matters is regularly commonly shown in the source code of the essential show as well as the white paper, or so they particularly thought. The initiation towards the in each down-to-earth sense most outrageous store normally basically starts with the improvement of the initially starting block on the blockchain overall further appearance. How modernized assets like Crypto.com chain have as of now unquestionably transformed into the place of combination of thought for generally retail monetary patrons and analysts, yet moreover for definitely enormous institutional monetary sponsor who truly see Crypto.com chain and the rest of computerized monetary forms as an upfront investment, enormous fruitful particularly wall against extension that takes a purchase, and enormous profound expense for the overall economy, which really is exceptionally basic. In our event, Crypto.com chain truly has a generally most prominent reserve of 326,3013,692 coins in an unpretentious way. This unmistakable component of a particular coin can be considered as a help against development in light of the fact that the four appointed issuance rate get together with the stock rooftop habitually conveys the coin deflationary once the generally most prominent store from a genuine perspective is reached and makes a pre-tweaked lack of a given asset, which makes the conditions for an extremely seriously obvious and reliable expense appreciation. Full-size supply refers to the number of coins that have been mined or made, and most of them are either in circulation or in the hands of specialists or holders who have frozen their wallets. The very complete store also considers any coins that have been burned and makes them unavailable for general use. This is done to keep a steady growth rate, which is very large, and to prevent inflation. Reading trading volume can help you find better entry and exit points. This is because, according to the rules of technical analysis, big price changes often happen at price levels where there is a lot of trading activity. As a result of the Federal Reserve's 25 basis point rate hike, the price of Bitcoin is expected to drop by almost 3%. At the moment, the price of Bitcoin is $29,464, which is a small rise of 0.5% from Thursday. The Federal Reserve's move to raise the federal funds rate by 25 basis points caused the cryptocurrency's price to drop by nearly 3% in the last week. Even though the economy is growing slowly, the move by the central bank to tighten monetary policy has put some downward pressure on the price of Bitcoin. Investors and traders are keeping a close eye on how the market reacts to this rate hike, because it could affect how the coin does in the future. Even though economic growth is slow, the Federal Reserve raises the federal funds rate by 25 basis points. Even though economic growth has been slow, the Federal Reserve raised the federal funds rate by 25 basis points lately. This ruling was expected and had already been priced in. And BTC got better the next day. According to the most recent report from the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, the goal of the rate hike was to keep inflation under control. Powell, who is in charge of the Fed, said that a rate change or a pause could happen in September. The group hasn't decided yet when it will meet next. On July 27, the European Central Bank, ECB, is expected to raise interest rates by another 25 basis points, even though the Eurozone is officially in a recession. This could put some pressure on the Bitcoin market to sell. Also, the Japan Central Bank is thinking about whether or not to raise interest rates, which could make Friday very hot. Even though the economy is growing slowly, the Federal Reserve recently raised the federal funds rate by 25 basis points. This had a mixed effect on the price of Bitcoin. Even though the ruling was expected and already taken into account, BTC got better the next day. How much will Bitcoin cost? When you look at Bitcoin from a fundamental standpoint, you can